Retired NFL quarterback Peyton Manning was on campus today. Find out what the 5-time MVP is focusing on post-football.
And USC football looks to keep its undefeated record intact when they travel to the Midwest this weekend. Our sports reporters look at what it'll look like to get a Trojan victory.
Tonight I'm at Rawlinson Stadium for the USC women's soccer game.
Tonight, we focus on all things sports from the pros to the Trojans. Hi, I'm Gianmarco Velasquez.
And I'm Evan Abelson. Two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Peyton Manning was on campus talking to Annenberg's dean and students.
Good NFL teams adjust their offenses based on who their quarterback is, right? So there's a role and a place for every type of quarterback, and I think there's a role and a place for every type of viewer on how they want to watch content. It's our job to sort of give them those different options.
Considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Peyton Manning talked about his new age media company, Omaha Productions. His goal is to adapt emerging platforms to meet sports viewers where they're at. Students packed into Wallace Annenberg Hall to hear from the football legend.
Well, I was surprised he was coming to USC just because it's Peyton Manning.
I was really happy that he came. I thought having a big name like that gets a lot of pull.
Football legend, icon, Peyton Manning. It was just kind of groundbreaking that he was coming to my school and for one of my classes that I was in. So everything he's done for his company and his startup over the pandemic, that story was pretty inspirational to hear.
The event was filled with spectators in the Forum of Wallace Annenberg Hall, with viewers looking down as high as a third floor. One of the moderators of the event says Manning's words gave students inspiration for their present and future.
My experience being up there was actually tremendous. It was so cool to see a living legend, just to have a conversation with him. I'm a huge fan of the Manning cast, so I was very happy to get to talk to him about the Manning cast. But I think the answer that stood out the most to me was how much he emphasized being where your feet are, being present, and really embracing being a sports journalist here at USC.
Manning was also here to promote his new show, Chad Powers, featuring Glenn Powell, coming out on Hulu Tuesday. The Trojans travel to Illinois for a Big Ten matchup this weekend. Sports reporters Nikki Thomas and Jack Mallow are here to tell us more about Saturday morning's game. Nikki?
Well, number 21 USC football will travel to number 23 Illinois this weekend to battle it out in Champaign. It'll be the first time these two teams have met since the 2008 Rose Bowl game, a 49-17 blowout win for USC.
While our defensive coverage could be a little bit better, USC's star-studded front four has generated 16 sacks through all 4 games this season. But all eyes have been on the Trojans' red-hot offense and its recent return to the student body running. The new tailback U is headlined by backs like Wayman Jordan and Eli Sanders, who both have the capability to flip scoreboards in an instant.
But Lincoln Riley will continue to add some air raid flair to the Trojan scheme against the Illini. Junior receiver Makai Lemon leads the Big Ten in receptions and receiving yards, and USC hopes for the return of star wideout Jacoby Lane, who was limited to water boy action against Michigan State.
And boy, do we hope to have him back.
Ooh.
He is such a cornerstone of this offense.
Well, listen, even without him, you feel like the Trojans have the offensive firepower to take over Illinois this weekend?
Absolutely. Again, we mentioned the return to student body runs with backs like Wayman Jordan and Eli Sanders, both of whom have just been tearing up any kind of secondary, front four, etc. We're almost guaranteed a victory.
And, I mean, keep an eye on freshman receiver Tanook Haynes, right? Still slotting in for Lane every now and then.
Again, we hope to have Jacoby Lane back in his full capacity, but we saw in Michigan State just how good Tanook Haynes can be.
100%, especially with Illinois coming off of that tough loss to Indiana last weekend. Whew, looking like it'll be a tough Big Ten battle.
Yes. So, going back to you guys at the studio with Gianmarco and Evan.
Thank you so much. More on sports. A Long Beach High School's football program is under scrutiny of the California Interscholastic Federation. 6 football transfer students are currently under review for eligibility. A current Annenberg Media grad student who covers Long Beach High School football says that when an athlete is banned from playing, it can affect their entire career.
If you haven't been scouted the way that some of these other players have, it hurts you. It hurts you because you're losing 2 years of eligibility, and you only got 4. In high school specifically, it's very limited. So I think it hurts them a lot to get that notice from recruiters.
And other local schools have experienced similar transfer situations, resulting in athletes being banned from playing sports. Bishop Montgomery had 19 students banned, Milliken had 8 players denied, and Compton had 1 player declared ineligible. And a USC professor and Long Beach native says that the action of breaking CIF rules can have lasting consequences.
It could derail to some extent in the sense that they're not going to maybe the school they wanted to go to, but my thing would be then don't cheat. And I don't think the CIF is being unfair at all by wanting to enforce their rules. No, it's just the abuse of those rules that has led to stricter enforcement.
If not falsified, students who apply for a valid change of residence get immediate eligibility. Others must utilize a sit-out period, which requires sitting out for 5 weeks of the football season. And sports betting is becoming more popular than ever. Let's check in with Sethan Perez for the week's edition of Sethan on the Street. Sethan, what are people talking about?
Thank you. From big wins to big losses, students shared how betting is changing the way they watch games and what they think about the government stepping in. Among 18 to 34-year-olds, 34% already have an online sportsbook account. About 62% say betting is fun and can be done responsibly. But more than half, 56%, think the government should step in with stronger regulation. And here on campus, students shared their own experiences, from the thrill of betting to concerns about government crackdowns.
The most I've ever won is $900.
Oh, I was on like an 18-game losing streak over winter break.
It's fun, especially if you're with friends. You're like, oh my gosh, like I totally think he's going to get it this game. Or, you know, if I think USC is really going to blow a team out, which we do every week, I'll bet on the over.
To bet on the sports that I know, like, you know, basketball or soccer or football in the Premier League or whatever. Otherwise, I'll sometimes ask AI who to bet on.
The government should not decide what people should do with their money. If anything, the government should be happy about it because they're going to make taxes based off people betting. So.
And that's coming from a finance master student himself. So from losing streaks to big wins, I heard it all. With talk of tighter regulations and even bans, the future of sports betting is anything but a sure bet. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Seth. And Los Angeles is one of the cities hosting next year's World Cup, and fans all over the globe are already trying to score tickets. More than 4.5 million people from 216 countries applied in the first phase of ticketing. FIFA says that's a record.
It's worth it to me. I'm a fan, yeah. I signed up for Los Angeles, San Francisco, Atlanta, and also New York.
I think it's going to be a crazy experience. I mean, LA, we're like a sports city. Everyone's going to be out here.
Winners for the first ticket lottery will be notified next Monday. The second lottery for tickets starts October 27th. Tickets range from $60 to more than around $6,700. This is the first time FIFA is using dynamic pricing. That means ticket prices are determined by demand rather than a fixed price. Meanwhile, the World Cup has announced 3 new mascots: Clutch the bald eagle, Maple the moose, and Zayu the jaguar. They represent the 3 host nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
And soccer jerseys have become an increasingly popular fashion choice, letting fans rep their favorite teams, communities, and their sense of style. Near USC, a store sells these jerseys, and one employee says it's becoming increasingly popular to rep your home country, especially with the World Cup coming next summer.
You connect with people and it opens more conversations, and you get to know them, like where they come from too. Either you have similar background or different. It connects people worldwide.
And jerseys have become a common sight among students who sport their favorite teams and designs across campus.
This month I'm seeing a lot of like El Salvador, Guatemala, a lot of like Latino representation, so I feel like that makes me more so want to get my Mexican heritage in there.
Lots of people come up to me when I wear like my Flamengo shirt or my Pumas jersey or whatever, talking to me about like our teams and the sport in general, right? So I think that's very fun.
I wear it more when I'm feeling like prideful.
Celebrities like Rihanna, Bella Hadid, and Timothée Chalamet have also been seen wearing these jerseys, which might be responsible for the recent trendiness. And the USC women's soccer team takes on Maryland tonight at 7 p.m. Our reporter Kendall Washington is live at Rawlinson Stadium. Kendall, what's it looking like out there?
Right now, I'm at Rawlinson Stadium, where the energy right now is electric. I mean, you can feel it as people are coming in. Now, tonight, USC women's soccer team is set to face Maryland at 7. Now, the last 3 times we faced them, we won twice. So let's see what happens tonight, as tonight's game is partnered with Zoe's Goal. Zoe's Goal is a nonprofit in honor of pediatric cancer, founded by Zoe Suter, a teenager who was diagnosed with cancer in 2022. At the time of her diagnosis, Zoe was a rising soccer star, with colleges already taking notice. Beating the odds, Zoe returned to the field in 2024, and the cancer returned soon after. Making her pain her purpose, she founded Zoe's Goal, bringing awareness to pediatric cancer.
Going through treatment myself, not many people can say they did that, and from going through that, we've learned and realized how little funding and research goes towards cancer research, especially the pediatric side of it. Even though I can't play soccer myself, it's still a huge part of my life. I started when I was 8 years old, and then since then it's been constant soccer 24/7, and that I don't think that's changed, even though I can't play anymore.
With 4 wins this season, let's see what happens tonight, and hopefully we can make it 5 for Zoe. At Rawlinson Stadium, I'm Kendall Washington. See you back in the studio.
Thank you, Kendall. The Los Angeles Sparks announced new plans to build a record-breaking practice facility.
LA is gearing up for the 2028 Olympics. We'll show you where the major upgrades will be taking place.
And the USC men's rugby team is a little more co-ed than their name suggests. We'll meet a woman on the team. In some exciting news for the Los Angeles Sparks, the 3-time WNBA champions have announced plans to build a 55,000 square foot facility in El Segundo. Sporting a hefty $150 million price tag, the state-of-the-art training and practice facility will be the largest investment for a single team in the history of women's sports. The facility will feature an array of amenities, including an outdoor spa pool, yoga and meditation spaces, hydrotherapy suites, and 2 WNBA regulation basketball courts, just to name a few. We spoke to veteran sports journalist Mickey Turner about the impact of this historic investment.
You know, I think it's great. I'm actually blown away by this news. I think when you're in a market like LA, you got to go big. You got to go bigger than what the Aces have in Las Vegas and what the Valkyrie have up north. And it just shows that, you know, everyone is really subscribing to the notion that this is more than a moment. This is a movement.
And LA Sparks co-owner and former Laker Magic Johnson also expressed his excitement via X, writing, quote, "I'm excited about the new LA Sparks state-of-the-art practice facility, which will be the best in all of the WNBA. I want to congratulate my Sparks partner and new Lakers owner Mark Walter, as well as my business partner Eric Holloman for making this dream facility come to fruition." The new Sparks facility is set to open in 2027.
To get ready for the 2028 Olympics, Mayor Karen Bass signed off on a $2.6 billion expansion at the Los Angeles Convention Center. The venue is set to host 5 sports in 2028, including fencing, taekwondo, judo wrestling, and table tennis. City leaders warn that if the expansion project falls behind schedule, the delay could come with a price tag LA can't afford.
If the project slips past March of 2028, Olympic and Paralympic events already booked at the Convention Center will have to relocate. LA 28's incremental additional costs of relocation and any costs associated with lost revenues from, say, decreased ticket revenues, that falls on the city.
Those that support the project say the convention center is a point of civic pride. They think the deadline will help the expansion stay on schedule and within budget.
We've got things coming here in the next several years that will kind of inspire us to maybe do what we need to do more quickly. And then we can showcase phase 1 to the world.
Construction on the convention center is expected to start next month and must be Olympic ready by 2028.
And the Ryder Cup tees off at Bethpage Black this weekend. Golf fans are decked out in either red, white, or blue for Team USA or yellow and blue for Team Europe. Although the game has become more accessible over time, the cost to enter some of the biggest golf events are still expensive. The tickets for the Ryder Cup entry start at $750.
I get excited about the Ryder Cup every year because it's a different way to watch golf. It's like it turns into a team sport rather than individual.
That was USC student Jonathan Fink, who expressed a passion for seeing golf become more of a team sport. USC golfers are forming a community based on a shared love for the sport, and they are finding cheaper courses, later tee times, and using rented clubs to get past the financial barriers of the sport.
Does it have a higher barrier to entry than some other sports like tennis or racquetball or pickleball or basketball or soccer? Definitely, it does. But
Green fees, for the most part, are really expensive, and I do think it's really hard to find accessible course that's good and is at a good price.
Fans who can't be at the tournament this weekend will be tuned into the final round on Sunday as the 2 international teams compete to earn bragging rights.
When your school only has a male rugby team and you're a woman who wants to play, what do? One USC student decided to try out for the men's team. It's a first for USC's oldest sport.
There isn't a USC women's rugby team anymore, so because I love the game and I wanted to keep playing, I approached the men's rugby team about practicing and training with them, playing with them, and it's been a really great experience. That being said, it hasn't been without its frustrations or its challenges.
Off and on, there have been women's rugby teams at USC, but it's been hard enough to get enough women players, some years to put it together. Now, although men make up the majority of the team, they welcome their new female teammate.
I don't know, as she continued training with us, we kind of realized that she's kind of like one of the boys. Like whenever there was any tackling drills, she's never afraid to step up and be the first one doing the drill. She's not afraid to get tackled.
Now there's 2 women on the men's rugby team, making the USC rugby community not just a sport for male athletes. Thanks for watching See It Live from everyone at Annenberg Media. I'm Evan Abelson.
And I'm Gianmarco Velasquez. For more coverage, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time and have a wonderful night.